today's video we're going to be looking at tips to self-study. So maybe you are one of these students, you don't have a teacher, and basically you're studying, especially maybe if it's for an English exam like IELTS or FCE, and you're doing so by yourself. Here are some tips to help you study more effectively. First of all, that's right, don't give up. This is very important. A lot of students get disappointed, maybe that they're not learning enough, maybe that their scores aren't improving. You really have to hang in there. English or learning any language is not something you do overnight, and it takes a long time to get from one level to another level, or to improve your fluency and knowledge in a language. It isn't kind of like Matrix, I know Kung Fu type style thing. No, it's not. You've got to put in a lot of hours and a lot of work to do it. So the first thing is don't give up. Hang in there. One of the ways of doing this is kind of making studying more fun. One of the ways you can do that is study what you're in the mood to study. Now, I remember, especially with me at university, I was very like this. If there was something that I had to study and I really wasn't in the mood for it, there was nothing more painful for me than this. So what I think you should do is, let's say you're meant to be doing some writing, for example, but you just can't face it. Oh, writing an essay, why? Instead of writing an essay, learn some vocabulary, study some grammar, practice your speaking, whatever, do a reading. So do something, don't force yourself, because yeah, it's not fun at all. Another major thing that a lot of students don't do is they don't set realistic goals, and this is a major problem, because then you do get disappointed because you're trying to achieve something that is impossible for you to do, especially if you turn around and say, right, I've just got my FC, in 6 months I'm going to get my proficiency. That is a pretty tough ask, especially if you've got a lot of other things going on in your life. It's probably not going to happen, and this is a huge problem, and again it causes students to get very frustrated and annoyed, and again it just detracts from the whole joyful experience of learning a language. Study a little and often. Another common problem is students will kind of push themselves, and they'll study, English for 3-4 hours. And again, this is boring, to be honest, and it's also ineffective. Studies have shown that you should really study for like half an hour, and then have a break. Any more than that, and your brain shuts down. Also, you can try studying, have a little walk and study after your walk. Studies have also shown that exercise really fires up our brain cells and gets everything going upstairs. So you can also try that if you want. Also, get yourself organized. Draw up a little schedule of, on Monday I'm going to do a little bit of speaking, on Tuesday I'm going to have a look at my reading, on Wednesday it's my grammar day. Get organized. This will ensure that you don't actually miss any skills, or you're focusing more on one skill rather than others. And again, remember my first point, if on the day you don't feel like studying grammar and you want to do a reading instead, well, okay, go for it. Any English is better than no English. So get yourself a schedule. The other thing is start revising regularly and early if you have an exam. So say you're taking the IELTS, the TOEIC, TOEFL, anything like that. Don't start studying a week beforehand. You should be studying 2 months beforehand with a studying routine to ensure that you are prepared and you're not panicking when the exam comes. Use the right materials. Now, I cannot overstate this enough. Nowadays, people who are self-studying are really lucky, because there are companies out there that do materials especially for self-study. This is a good example. This IELTS book from Oxford here is really good because it has the test, and at the back it has all the answers explained. It explains the tricks and the traps or the distractors, and it also explains why the answer is the answer, which is perfect. Especially in the reading, it does that anyway. It also gives you example writings. So this material has been specially designed for people who are self-studying. So obviously you should use these books. Now, there are certain skills that I would advise that you don't do on your own, and this is pretty much universal. Speaking and writing skills, you need help. You really need a teacher or someone who knows a lot about the exam you're doing, and you need to have your writings marked. This will allow you to improve and maximize your marks. Yes, you can write the essay, but if no one's marking them, it really isn't going to be very effective, and it's also not going to improve your marks. A teacher will be able to tell you what you need to improve very, very quickly, and what you need to look out, and what errors you are making, whether they're grammatical, whether your vocabulary is weak, whether you need more linking structures. All of these things students may not be thinking about, but any teacher worth having will tell you this straight away. Speaking, again, yes, you can speak to yourself in the mirror. Yes, you can record yourself on a video and watch yourself. Again, it works, but you're not getting the feedback that you would get if you had a teacher, encouraging you, telling you how to improve your answers, and what you need to do to get to the next band or the next grade. So certainly if you're studying by yourself, that's great, but definitely I would seek some guidance when it comes to the speaking and the writing. I hope this video has given you something to think about. If you need any more tips, there's lots of tips here to boost your writing skills, and again, we do our best to help people studying by themselves, and generally that's what this channel is all about. If you have any questions, please ask. Thanks for watching. Bye.